Welcome to the Cotterville Walden Spring Business Accelerators podcast. My name is Tammi Hilton. I am a board member of the Cotterville Walden Spring Chamber of Commerce. I am a business owner in the community. I own a restaurant in Cotterville, Missouri, and the No Mo Gas Tax app. I am working with the Chamber of Commerce and collaborating with different businesses inside of the Cotterville Walden Spring Chamber of Commerce. And I'm super excited today to tell you that we've had the opportunity to interview Brian Richardson with the Viper radio station. He is a part of many radio stations over the Viper and is the marketing director for them and works with a lot of our chamber members to support them in a lot of different marketing efforts. So in today's podcast, we talked about traditional marketing, non-traditional marketing, channel marketing, social media marketing, and really how to work as a business owner and a business leader in the community to combine all of those different channels and come up with a marketing plan that's going to work within your business on budget, and really talk about how to execute and balance your marketing efforts. So I'm super excited about this podcast. Inside this podcast, you'll learn about budgeting. You'll learn about the proper budget that you should set aside against your top line and bottom line revenue. You'll hear us talk a little bit about branding. You'll hear us talk about stacking different types of marketing ideas and events and how to stack that with not only radio advertising, but maybe it's billboard marketing, maybe it's social media marketing, and just making sure that you're staying relevant in your community. So listen in. I think you're going to learn a couple of things. Drop us a message and let us know what you think. And if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, let me know. I'm looking for other chamber members who want to tell us about their business and maybe even talk to us about problems that they've had in their business and how they've solved those problems. And our goal with the Business Accelerators group is to bring success to all of our members. The one thing I've learned about being a business owner is it takes a village, and there's a lot of lessons that we learn, and there's a lot of things that we don't know until we try. And so my goal with this podcast and with the Business Accelerators group is to start sharing some of those lessons so we can all be stronger together. So listen in, and thank you.
How would you like to get a 5-cent gas tax rebate on every gallon of gas purchased in Missouri? Every time you get gas in the state of Missouri, you are eligible for a refund. Just upload your gas receipts and enter the key details the state of Missouri requires for a refund from the Department of Revenue. The state of Missouri collects over $750 million a year in gas and fuel taxes for Missouri consumers and citizens, meaning the average household in the state of Missouri pays over $300 a month just in refundable gas tax. Download the No Mo Gas Tax app today and get started tracking your gas receipts and get your gas tax refund in July. For more information, go to nomogastax.com.
My name is Tammi Hilton. I am a board member of the Cotterville Walden Spring Chamber of Commerce, and I am pleased to introduce Brian Richardson, who has been a longtime member of the Cotterville Walden Spring Chamber of Commerce. And welcome to the Business Accelerators podcast, Brian.
Hey, Tammi, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Hey.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
Good. Well, I'm excited about it. You know, the premise of this podcast and what I've been trying to do inside of this podcast is to really share with chamber members and really just small businesses across the region to understand how we can support each other and how we can learn about each other, and really give us some lesson learns and tangible items that we can listen to this podcast and walk away and really have something that we can implement in our lives, whether it be professional or in our personal lives as well. So I'm super excited to talk to you and learn about your role at Viper and learn about all things branding, marketing, non-traditional marketing, traditional marketing, channel marketing, and how we can use those mediums inside of our businesses. So tell us a little bit about your role there at the Viper and give us a high-level background of where you've been and how you got to Viper.
Oh, gosh. Well, I've been in broadcasting for almost 40 years now. I'm the oldest person in radio. And we got to Viper through a pretty long chain of events. I started as a DJ back when we had records. And decided to transition into sales about 25 years ago. and never looked back. So I've got several stations that I work with. Viper is our rock station. KFAV is our country station. We have a couple of others, outer areas of the state and some in Illinois. And it's a lot of fun. So I've been doing this for a long time. Here I'm the general sales manager. So I'm the guy that you call if you want to get some advertising on, or if you want to do something completely different. We work with a lot of people they just need something new on their phone message. And we've got a whole stable of voices that we can record something for them to put on their phone system, or PA, or just audio if you want to use something for your Facebook page. So there's lots of different ways to market.
Yeah, absolutely. That's phone messages is something I've thought about. I just moved our business over to voice over IP. I called my restaurant the other day and I realized we need to re-record it. And so that's something to think about. Well, so this is very interesting. So I have a background of sales and moved out to business ownership. And so I love sales. I think a lot of people don't realize you're always selling, right? We're always selling our business, ourselves. In some capacity, we might be selling our employees. So tell us a little bit about branding. When you meet with a new client or even a prospective client that you've been really targeting, how do you open that up, and what are some areas that you try to open up some concerns, to open up the opportunity for them to buy from you?
Well, the main thing really is talking to them and finding out what is it about their business that I can help them with. What's the thing that sets them apart? A lot of people will try to put together a radio script, but they get too personal with it. They're too close to it sometimes. And so just sat down with somebody, I'll write 2 or 3 pages of notes and throw 90% of it away, and just kind of drill down. Having those long conversations, it helps me to know what everybody does, which is great for networking.
Yeah.
For me, because I get a lot of questions when I'm talking to somebody. It's like, oh yeah, I need somebody who makes T-shirts or bumper stickers, or can clean the hood in my restaurant. And having done this for 20 years at these stations, and being within the chamber and networking in the chamber, I can generally find just about anybody that you're looking for. And that helps a lot too. Being able to say, here's somebody I trust. And just having those conversations with people about what it is that their business is most in tune. Asking the questions, why do people say they come back and see you again and again and again? Just kind of drilling those things down. And just
That's a hard question for some of us to answer or even ask, right? Why are you here today? What brought you in today? Why did you choose us? I think a lot of times we forget to ask people those questions.
Well, and sometimes even if you do, if they're in a hurry, they're just going to give you the first answer they can think of so that they can get on with doing business with that customer, with that client. So it's, with a lot of places out there, they just know, why people show up every day. And a lot of it has to do with, especially the personality of the people that are running that business, because you're going to do business with people you like and people you trust.
Yeah, know, like, and trust, right? Yeah, those are always the areas that I focus on, and building that trust is not easy. I can attest. I've only been in the chamber for about 4.5 years now. You've been a staple in a lot of the events that I've attended, and we've grown that trust, I think, over the years. And you do know a lot of people. There's been many times where I've sat with you and you've told me you should go talk to this person, and and you're right. You're right most of the time. And so, but most of the time, but, okay. But building that trust, and then sometimes you build that trust just by who you know and referring people that you trust, and then how they respond to that referral also matters as well. So talk to me a little bit about channel marketing, and what is your definition, or what is the definition of channel marketing?
Well, you have several different opportunities to market, different venues you can use, or channels, whether it's going to be social media, traditional media, network marketing. Things that we're working on right now with one of our clients is utilizing just T-shirt giveaways, putting their logo on a T-shirt. we're not going to be doing any radio marketing because we can't. And it's one of those things. It's like, there are things we can do to help you get your name out there. So channel marketing is if you're using a certain message on, let's say, your social media channels, and you've got, your Facebook, Instagram, and all the ones that old people like me don't even know about, that are out there, to be able to utilize traditional or non-traditional media to keep the same message, create a branding that will allow people to really want to get more information and dive into either your website, your Facebook page, your Instagram. And that creates, when those silos come together, and you get into the different layers of your marketing, it allows people to basically get the same terminology and ideology, but helps them grasp the concept that they want to get more information. They want to know what you do. And so using all those different channels to get people to the one thing, which is to do business with you.
Right. Well, and you talked about different social media platforms and then trying to get people to engage and move through those channels, right? And so it's kind of like that buyer's journey. And when you talk about social media being one of those channels, but here we are at a time, use TikTok, for example, where the US government's talking about perhaps banning it, right? And so what happens to all the content there? And I don't know if that'll actually happen, but it's also important, right, to have your brand recognized on your website and to download that content and own that content and have people on Instagram, Facebook, your website, and move them and not have all your eggs in one basket, right?
Right, but keeping the same tagline and same logos. You see a lot of the major corporations that will use the same tagline and logos in all of their marketing concepts, from their letterhead into their multimedia campaigns. And those are the things that that people like you and I can help somebody else, because we've done this for a long time. We've done marketing, and say, okay, you don't want to change your tagline on your bumper sticker or on your vehicle wrap, as opposed to what you have on your billboard or your radio ad.
Right.
Keep it all the same so that people think about you.
So what do you say so being inside of the chamber, as you know, we have a lot of businesses that are super small, right? In that startup mode, we've got businesses that might be in that hobbyist area that are trying to grow to a real business. And how do you help them really understand that they need to create that tagline and create that logo? And a lot of times that first year or two, those are transitioning, right? Because you might have an idea for a business, but 18 months, that business might turn into something different. And so how do you help people maintain that branding and consistency?
A lot of it has to do with really what your business is evolving into. If it's going to stay within the same genre of what you're currently doing, you can utilize that. But sometimes, different businesses, and there are some people that have multiple businesses like you. But being able to take what you have and not utilizing it as much as you can, but not being so tied down to it that as your business evolves and grows, you can't take a look at that and also let that grow and evolve with you. But then when you're doing it, just make sure that you're consistent along all your platforms.
Yeah.
So yeah, different, Coca-Cola, their logo has evolved over years. So has McDonald's. But with their current platforms, all of them are the same.
Right. Yeah, because I've got, as you mentioned, a couple of different businesses, and one of my own startups, has evolved a little bit, and it wasn't exactly what I envisioned in the very beginning. And so trying to really perfect that, but still give the same mission, I guess, and execute that and let people know that that's out there. A lot of us have and I've learned too on Facebook, and you kind of have a personal brand as well, especially in that small business, in that chamber environment. How do you bring that out in people? Do you always harp on that or try to bring them into the fold? Being on the radio side of things, right? You're behind the scenes a little bit, so we're kind of bringing you out today. But how do you bring their personal brand into the story?
A lot of it depends on what the brand is. I mean, if it's a great